Oh, great. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome to 40 days of restorative yoga. And today we are nearing the end of this practice, of this sadhana. And I'm really feeling like we've come a long way through the practice. And I hope that my intention is that over time you will come back to these videos and review some of the shapes and find the space and find the time for that 15 minutes, 20 minutes in some part of your day. It's such a beautiful practice. After we're done, the 40 days, I will be carrying on and I will continue to do probably 3 more videos, and I will link a few of the postures together and put them into themes. So we'll have a shoulder one, and I'm not sure how that's all going to evolve, but this is not the end of me as far as yoga goes on my channel. There'll be a few more videos after this. So today, where are we at? We did another version of the half frog 2 days ago. And then yesterday we came down into a prone position and did a kind of a sort of a frog posture. And today we're going to go and switch that up a little bit and go a little deeper into the frog. Frog is a posture that is often practiced in a yin class, not so much as in a restorative class. And what I want to offer today is the maximum comfort possible in this posture, with some suggestions for making it manageable so that you can stay for 5 minutes or 6 minutes, because it really is a brilliant opening. And you can go back to the first version of half frog, the second version of half frog, the version of full frog yesterday, and then coming into this, because it's such a beautiful opener. And it also gets into that low back area too, which is most unexpected, because you would think that this posture would all be about the groin, the adductors, but it's not. So more on that in just a bit. Our card today is an animal card. It is from a deck by Regula Mayer and Karen Lurs. This is a European deck called Power Animals. It has lots of white space, which is exactly what I need today. Space. And the reason that I have quite a few decks in my collection that you can see have a lot of white space. And I like that. I like that because when you are laying out several cards, it's not too busy. It allows the pictures to paint a story. And I find it a lot easier to read actually when there's a little bit of space. So as we go ahead, close your eyes, come to breath. And before we draw the card, let's just formulate an intention here, which is something I always recommend, whether it's not a specific question, an intention for the energy that you're hoping to be guided through when you draw a card. Where would our focus best be served during the quiet of today's posture? And is there medicine in the mandukasana, in the frog posture? Is there medicine in the frog posture that needs to come to the forefront at this time to help us understand the layers, the peeling away of the hips, the pelvis, the low back, why we hold on so tight, and what is it that we need to understand so that we can truly give our bodies, our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, permission to soften and to let go. Okay. This is the one that was on the back of the deck, the lion. It's a male lion, right? Because it has the mane. The lion will help you to become the king of your life. It's a strength card. It's a card of standing in your own power, sitting in your own power, understanding that strength, that power, that whether it externalizes as leadership or organization ability or actual physical strength or prowess in athletics. But there's a sense of direction, right? Because there's also the word king on this keyword. There's a sense of being able to oversee and to know that you have the strength to oversee that. So perhaps this frog posture will give us the courage, maybe to up our game a little bit, actually. I need to think about this a little bit more. Really beautiful. Okay, so I want to kind of go back and revisit yesterday's posture and then take you in a little deeper today. So yesterday, I propped up my feet quite high. And I believe I had, for the demo, the bolster was raised. And so basically for the modified frog, we come down to the belly and we slowly, slowly release the feet down. And eventually the feet will come down to the floor. Not me right now, that's for sure. So I had the bolster raised up a little bit, and I also bound my ankles, which really did help with the ability to soften and to let go. Coming into full frog is a whole other game. And so what you want to do is have a bolster near the front of your mat. If you have two soft cushions, I would suggest you have those because you're going to need them underneath your knees. If you don't have two soft cushions, one of the things, and I learned this years ago in yoga, is to use the mat. So you can fold your mat in, end to end. I might need a little bit more space. So this is the width of your knees. So you need the mat, the width of your knees. And then you can roll the mat or fold the mat like this. So that you have cushioning for the knees. And I'm just going to demo it this way. And then alternatively, you can use cushions or blocks. And I would use the two soft blocks, but this is fine for today. So yesterday's shape, we had the feet together like this. And when we come into frog, ideally, the feet are more like this, which is a different level of intensity. This for most people is a lot easier than this. And so this is something that you can work with over time, is allowing the feet to come apart. And then you decide how far apart you want this internal grind stretch to be. So this is the lower body. This is a restorative practice, right? So we're going to place something underneath the torso and then come down. And once you get the torso resting on the cushion, you may be able to walk the knees a little further apart. And after doing several days of frog posture, in theory, this shouldn't be as challenging as it would be if you, and I'm just going to build a little bit more of length here so I can rest my head on the cushion. It wouldn't be, it shouldn't be as intense as if we hadn't done what we've done the last 3 days. And so allow the torso to fully soften. Now, for some of you, you may need to raise the bolster like we did in so many of the previous practices. So the bolster comes up and you place a block underneath the bolster, and that might be more comfortable for you. And then you're going to have to build because you want your head to rest as well too. And then you can bring your head onto a cushion as well too. Because the lower body posture is quite intense, you want to make sure that the upper body feels supported and that you can begin to relax the upper body. Okay, so let me reset myself up here so I can guide you in here. And the idea is you don't want to come too far forward. You're creating the shape. So I have a almost 45. So this would be 45. I'm widening that out a little bit. And then if you bring your seat back, it's going to be more intense. If you bring your seat forward, it's a little less intense. So find somewhere in the middle that is manageable. And if you come out before I do, that's totally cool, especially if this is the first time you've done this. And so, as I was saying earlier, the low back. These postures have some really magic medicine for the sacrum. And yesterday I had you breathe in and out of the sacrum. And I encourage you to go back there again today. And the sacrum is that large triangular bone at the base of the spine, connecting to the coccyx. Soften your ankles, soften your feet. And you may surprise yourself and be able to widen and take the knees further apart. And I also see the card as we are stronger than we think we are. We are able to go further than we think we are. We often are our own worst enemies. And what if you could stand or sit as the leader of your pride? And have that level of confidence and fire. It's a strong fire energy is really, really beautiful, and it can be quite intimidating for a lot of people. So small doses at a time. Keep adjusting the ankles, adjusting the feet. And like I said, bring the toes together if that is where you need to be today. And as I lie here, I'm thinking that it's possible here in the groin area that could put small bolsters here. It is possible. And if you have an abundance of props, you can see why supporting this might help you to let go a little bit more. If your head has been facing one side, take this cue as an opportunity to turn and place the other ear on your support, stretching the neck in both directions. And if this is too much, you come back to what we did yesterday. Come right down to your belly, bring the soles of the feet together, and rest the joined feet on some cushions. And my knees are slipping back. Let's stay for about another minute. Be on your edge, be with your edge, breathe into your edge and give the body permission to soften. Let's count 9 more deep breaths. Full awareness. Letting go through the sacrum, through the groin. One more big breath. And then if you're able, just to come right down to your front. If you really want to, you can hop up and fix your mat. But you can leave that for now. You can actually wiggle down, place your pelvis on the mat. If you're doing the same thing that I am, stack your palms. Place your forehead on your stacked hands and just come into a shape of integration. And feel the prana rushing through your groin area, your glutes, your sacrum, and just breathe. And I'm going to guide you through a little bit of breath. You're more than welcome to fix your mat, roll over onto your back. Or you can join me and come up to your seat. And we're going to go back to some of the breath that we started days ago. So your choice. In a prone shavasana, on your back in Shavasana or making your way up to your seat. And maybe this practice will also empower you, give you courage, right? There's this attitude, there's this thought that restorative yoga is for wussies, right? It's like, it's not power yoga, but it takes you deep, right? It begins to break you open and allow layers to peel away. And maybe that's what you need for courage, to find courage. Okay, so I'm just gonna check the time. We're good for time. Okay. If you're upright, bring your shoulders over your hips. Feel a nice long back of the neck. And then go down to the sacrum. Scan. Now go inside the vertebra. Find your spinal cord. And be aware of the spinal cord. And very slowly, like a spiral, breathe and scan the back body from the sacrum. Very slowly moving up the back. And sometimes if we focus more on the spinal cord than the spine, we can really tap into the medicine of the alignment in the back. And then the spinal cord, if it's free, if the neck is nice and long, the chin's not too high or too low, the spinal cord then moves into the medulla oblongata in the brain. Energetically, the energy passes out through the fontanelle at the top of the head, where the fontanelle was. Come to the breath in the nose. Feel both nostrils, and we'll do the prana shuddhi again, and then we'll do a little bit of very basic nadi shodhana. So the prana shuddhi practice is 5 times both nostrils, drawing the breath all the way up to the eyebrow center on the inhale, and then exhaling eyebrow center down. So just continue to trace that inverted V shape, both nostrils all the way up, all the way down. And then with or without the hand gesture, if you're using the hand gesture, right hand thumb closes the right nostril 5 times, left side only. You can also do this with your mind. You do not have to use your hand. Your thumb. Draw the breath all the way up to the eyebrow center, all the way back down. The 5th time the breath leaves the left nostril, you switch fingers. So now you take the ring finger, close the left nostril, and take the same number of breaths on the right side only. After your 5th exhale on the right side, you remove your hand and you come back to 5 breaths, both nostrils. And so that's one round of prana shuddhi, prana purification, prana balancing. And then we'll move into the alternate nostril breathing without any retention. Second and third finger can rest on the forehead, or it can be tucked in. And so we're going to use the thumb and the ring finger. Always start with the left nostril. And if you are left-handed and you can't, for some reason, or you don't have access to your right hand, of course, you can use your left hand. And this practice can be done without the hand gesture. You simply focus and you use your mind and you draw the breath up and down through the nose. I'm going to cue it with the hands. With the right hand thumb, close the right nostril. Inhale up the left side. Close the left, open the right, exhale right. And if I'm going a little too slow or a little too fast, you go at your own pace. Inhale up the right. Close the right, open the left, exhale left. That's one. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale left. That's two. Continue for 3 more rounds. If for any reason this is causing anxiety, remove your hand, come back to your natural breath. Do not block one side of the nose. After the 5th time, the breath leaves the left nostril. You simply remove your hands and come back to the breath. As we started, both nostrils, drawing the breath all the way up to the eyebrow center. And back down again. Five times. And then go back to the alternating breath. Right hand thumb closes the right nostril. Fingertips on the third eye or tucked in. 5 rounds. Watch your anxiety level. If it starts to increase, remove the hand. Come back to your natural breath. And if necessary, just lie down. After 5 rounds, the breath leaves the left side nostril. Come back to prana shuddhi, inhaling both sides. And then bring your palms together, rub your hands. Create heat in the hands. And then cup your hands over the eyes. Feel the prana in the hands. And then release the hands. Thank you. Thanks for joining me today. So again, pranashuddhi is the breath, both sides, up and down. There's no contraindication for that. So you can do 5 both sides, and then 5 left only, and then 5 right only, and then 5 both sides. Okay, so that's 1 round of pranashuddhi. And then if you want to add the alternate nostril breathing with or without the hand gesture, you start on the left nostril, you inhale up, exhale down the right, up the right, down the left. That's 1. So you would do that for 5 rounds without any retention. So not without holding the breath in any way. Just keep it free. Keep the breath at a pace where you don't start to feel any anxiety rising. This is meant to be a calming practice. It's not meant to make you feel more stressed. Okay, because if it is, then you stop. And beyond this level, there's lots of stages of alternate nostril breathing. And I would never teach these on YouTube without knowing your condition, without knowing how you're feeling and so forth. And so if you would like to work with me in that way, that's something that we could do one-on-one, in a private session. Yeah. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. And I'm happy to answer those in the comments below, or you can send me an email to info@integrativehealingwithsadhana.com. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 39. Stay well. Namaste.